Hey, gather round, my forest friends. It's time for Nanny Annie's Family Faith in action. What do you remember from today's gospel? It was taken from Matthew 25, 1-13. Can I share? Oh, I hope I can stop laughing long enough to share. I remember the gospel saying, stay awake. So last night I decided not to go to sleep. And wow, at first I was a little grumpy, but now I've just gotten giddy. And how long are you supposed to stay awake for? I just can't stop laughing. Oh, Jules, I think you better get some sleep. I don't think Jesus meant for you to stay awake all night. Really? Oh, wow. Well, I don't know if I can get calmed down enough. Oh, Jules, Bear is right. It's not good for you not to have sleep. Jesus wasn't intending for you to stay awake day and night. He was explaining something, figuratively speaking. We'll talk about that. How about you just relax? Whoa, calm down. Calm down. You just relax and maybe just try to drift off to sleep, and we'll talk about it later if you do, okay? Can anybody tell me what Jesus was referring to when he said to stay awake? I think I can. Jesus was telling a parable, a story about some bridesmaids who were waiting with some oil lamps for the bridegroom, but some of them did not come prepared, and they ran out of oil. Then when the bridegroom came and the celebration was ready to start, they were gone to get more oil and they missed out on getting into the banquet. So Jesus was saying you have to be alert and stay awake and be ready, because you don't know exactly when the banquet's going to be happening and you're going to be called to it. Very good, Mr. Moose. That's great. That's right. Jesus is telling us that we don't know the time or the hour that we'll be called home to the eternal banquet. And so we need to prepare our hearts. Many people tend to think, oh, I'm young, I'm healthy, I won't worry too much about what happens at death or after death until later in life. And that's a really big mistake. So, what should we do to prepare our hearts and be prepared each and every day for whatever comes our way? Well, it's always good to pray. That's right, Bear. And what else can we do? Well, sometimes we make mistakes, and it's important to go to the sacrament of reconciliation and to reconcile ourselves with one another and with God. That's a way of preparing. Yes, that's a very good idea all the time, and especially from this gospel. It's important for us to make sure that we constantly reconcile ourselves to God and to one another. And that way we're ready for each and every day, whatever it brings. And when God does choose to meet us face to face, we'll have our life in good order for him. Well, let's make that one of our action items this week. If you're old enough to go to the sacrament of reconciliation, then please ask your parents to help you plan to do so. For those of us who maybe aren't quite big enough to do that yet, I've got a second action item for you too. How about we make a clock? That would be a good way of reminding that the time and the hours we're never sure of when we'll be called upon by our Lord. We can maybe even put a heart on it. to remind us to prepare our hearts. It'll be good practice for you to practice your numbers and talk about timing and how sometimes we just don't know the time of certain things, and we must keep ourselves prepared. I think Jules has fallen asleep. I'm going to go tuck her in the crib. But have a great day, and we'll see you next week on Nanny Annie's Family Faith in Action.